So good day, I am Nonito Serrano from Besson 11G, and for today's video, I'm going to do an assessment of the cardiovascular system. So with our demonstration, the cardiovascular systems deliver oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and other important substances to the cells and organs of the body. So it is important because it helps the body meet the demands of activity, exercise, and stress. So prior the conduct of the procedure, reviewing the previous patient records offers opportunity to identify instances of harm to a patient. This will allow me to get to know this information about the patient prior to assessment. So next is to prepare the necessary equipment needed to conserve time and energy. The equipment that I'm going to use includes pen light, to be used as a conventional light source, and rectangular part, and a centimeter roller to measure the patient jugular venous pressure, and of course a stethoscope, and perform hand hygiene to protect my patient and myself as well from infection and cross-contamination. So greet the client politely, introduce yourself, and verify the client qualified. So as how the client would like to be called during the assessment. To establish support with the client. So hi, good day. How are you feeling? So I am Nonito Serrano, installment nurse for today. So sir, may I see your wristband? So sir, can you state your full name?
Hello, boss.
How about your birthday?
July 26,
Thank you. So explain us the procedure to the client, how he or she can participate during the assessment, provided the client the opportunity to verify us or raise any concern. So today I be assessing your cardiovascular system, which means I will check your pulse on your legs, your neck, arms, and also listen for your heart sounds. Will be all that, sir. So I will ensure clients' comfort, privacy, and confidentiality by closing the door. Closing the windows. Adjusting the home temperature and provided adequate lighting. Then the assessment settings should be assured to be set. Secure and free from distraction, and drop the client body hours needed throughout the assessment. So let's begin with just a short interview, sir. Do you have any specific complaints, or are you feeling pain or in your chest? Alright. So how about in your extremities? Have you experienced shortness of breath, dizziness, headache? So anything like that? So is there a history of hypertension, myocardial infarction, coronary heart disease? So that has ever affected your family? Do you smoke? What are your usual activities? So do you exercise? Okay, thank you so much. So let's begin your assessment. So now let's begin with your assessment. Let's get started with the assessment of the jugular vein and carotid arteries. Inspection of these vessels can provide information about the blood volume and pressure in the right side of the heart. First thing to do is to position the client's spine with the head of the bed elevated between 30 to 45 degrees, making sure that the head and torso of the patient is on the same plane. So next will be instructed the client to turn the head slightly to the left and shown tangential source onto the neck, suprasternal notch, an area around the clavicles to observe for pulsation and shadows. If jugular distension was noted, assess the jugular venous fissure. By locating the highest visible point of distension of the internal jugular vein, emphasize the distension with a tangential lighting, as them necessary raise or lower the head of the bed and until the highest visible point of distension of the internal jugular vein was observed. So note that jugular vein should not be extended, bulging, or protruding at 45 degrees or gritting. If so, it may indicate a right-sided heart failure. Now measure the vertical distance in a centimeter above the sternal angle by extending a long rectangular object or card horizontally from this point and centimeter lower, vertically from the sternal angle, making an exact right angle. And repeat the preceding step on the other side. So now, for the assessment of the carotid arteries, with the height of the bed elevated at 30 degrees, slightly turn the patient head toward the side being examined and palpate for the carotid arteries. Very likely to avoid blocking circulation or triggering vagal stimulation and bradycardia, hypertension, or even cardiac arrest. And then palpate the carotid arteries individually because the bilateral palpation of the carotid arteries may result to reduce cerebral blood flow filled for the aptitude or stroke and for the thrills. Turn the client head slightly away from the side. Being examined, place the bell of the stethoscope over the carotid artery and ask the client to hold his or her breath for a moment and auscultate the carotid artery, listening for breath. Was heard gently palpate the artery. And also, listen for a viewer is a blowing or swishing sounds that is used by a turbulent blood flow through narrow vessels, which is an indicative of the occlusive artery disease. So sir, can you hold your picture? Okay, sir. Now I'm going to proceed to inspecting your chest area. Proceeding now to inspection of the heart or cardium. And for the first thing to do is to begin with the general section of the chest wall. And woman, keep the right chest drop gently, lifted the wrist with the left hand. Or ask the woman to do is to for assistant. Stood at the right side of the client with the head of the bed elevated at 30 degrees and look for any abnormal pulsation shown at tangential light across the chest wall over the cardiac apex to make these movements more visible. And I'm looking for any pulsation, symmetry of movement, retraction, or heavies are strong outward across the chest which I don't see. So I don't see any normality on your chest, sir. So now simultaneously inspect the cardium for pulsation while palpating for the aortic, pulmonic, and tricuspid and umbilical area. Palpate for heavies or the let's using the or hold the finger pads flatly or obliquely against the chest perform. Then so now simultaneously inspect the cardium for pulsation while palpating the aortic, pulmonic, and tricuspid and umbilical area. Palpate for heavies or lips using the palm or hold the finger flatly or obliquely against the chest. So now place the ball of the hand firmly against the chest wall and feel the twirls is a vibratory sensation felt on the skin, overlying an area or turbulences which indicates a loud heart murmur caused by an incompetent heart valve. So, palpitations and impulses using finger pads, flatly or obliquate on the body surface from the aortic, pulmonic area, and tricuspid area, RV in the right side, ventricular area of the lower left external border, and in the subsequent area using the palmar surface of the hand, and palpate the apical impulse using the palmar surface of the three middle fingers. Then for finer assessment, palpate the one finger along to confirm the characteristic of the apical impulse, noting for location, diameter, and amplitude. If unable to palpate the apical impulse with the patient, supine response repulsion the patient to a party onto the left lateral side and palpate again using the palmar surfaces of several fingers. If still unable to palpate, ask the client to inhale fully and stop breathing for a few seconds and palpate again while patient maintains to be party of facing his side. So, sir, can you please hold your left side? Alright, so for the ethical impulse, then ask the patient to exhale fully and hold your breath for a moment. So, sir, can you please with your in an exhale, then hold your breath for a moment, please. Okay, can you breathe now? Next thing to do is to assess the heart rate and rhythm of the patient by placing the diaphragm of the stethoscope of the patient apical area and listening closely to the width and width of the apical impulse. Counted the heartbeat for a full minute. If an irregular rhythm was detected, assist for a pulse with deficit, the diaphragm is used of hearing high-pitched sounds, while the bell is best used to detect or different low-pitched sounds or gallops. Now, using the diaphragm, the stethoscope first and then the bell, listens for the patient heart sounds. One is for anatomic sites, which are the aortic pulmonic, the speed, and apical. So first, I'm going to listen is aortic area, which is found at the right sternal border and the intercostal space. Now moving to the pulmonic area, which is found at the left sternal border, second intercostal space. Now for the speed area, which is found the left sternal border, fourth intercostal space. And for apical area, which is located at the fifth intercostal space and clavicular. Repeat these steps with the patient facing her left lateral side, and while the patient is sir an individual So I need you to sit down slightly, sir. Forward. So now, inhale, exhale, sir. Hold your breath and once again, inhale, exhale. And hold, inhale, exhale, and hold. So now I'm going to inspect your arms and legs. Okay, so sir, let me see your So the temperature is warm, the skin color is consistent, no venous pattern, there is no presence of edema, lesions, changes in skin textures, and your hair is heavily distributed. And nail beds are pinkish, and I don't see any clogging on your nails. So now, I will be assisting for your capillary fill, which indicates your peripheral perfusion and relaxed card block output. Sir? Next is performing the Allen test, which is done to test the patency of the ulnar and radial artery. Okay, sir, I need you to open and close your hands as quickly as you can and then squeeze. Squeeze. Stop. Release. Squeeze. Stop. Release. Okay, very good. and repeated the preceding steps on the other arm. And for the visual pulse, your pulse are relatively strong and graded 2 plus, which is abnormal. As I can see, the color is consistent all over, and here is distributed, and there's no sign of edema. Lesions, there is no ulceration, swelling, venous patterns, or weaknesses. Your lower extremity feels and warm. And now I'm going to palpate the firmness of tension. So sir, I'm going to palpate your for your pulse. So I am going to start in palpatial pulse. So sir, can you use your knee? Sir, the other. So, okay, moving on to your dorsalis cutis. Okay, both are equally strong and as a regular limb. So now for your posterior tibial. Okay, good. Both are strong and as a regular limb. Now for capillary fill test. Okay. Okay, good. Oh, sir, we'll have to do the performance dorsiflexion sign test, which is a procedure to access for deep vein thrombosis. Alright, sir. And the other one. Okay. Informal client assessment was done. FDM initial assisted client to change fluids. We position the client comfortably sitting on the bed. So okay, so now we're done with the assessment, sir, of your cardiovascular system and just sum up everything that we've covered. So upon auscultation of your neck, I've heard no swishing or blowing sounds. Pulses are equally strong, weighted to plus, which means anormal. So your jugular venous, it is a 6 centimeters of water with the pad elevated 30 degrees, which is a good or normal. And upon assessment of your chest, it is a symmetrical, no retraction, no heaviness or twirler's position or vibration are palpated in the area of the atlas. So left is external border or base. The heart rate is 75 beats per minute with a regular rate. So upon the assessment of your upper and lower exogenous arms are relatively symmetric with a minimal variation in the size and shape, no edema, prominent venous patterning, skin is warm, capillary fill is good, your radial pulse or null, and brachial pulse are relatively strong and as a regular rate, which is also very good. And upon performing the Allen test, where you were opening and closing your hand, the result is good, and upon examining your legs, here is evenly distributed, skin is warm, no edema, no lesions, and no swelling or antipy. Your popliteal pulse, dorsalis pedis, and posterior. So, so that's overall your cardiovascular system, sir. It's doing very well. I suggest that you keep on consuming healthy food and have regular exercise. Before we end this, do you have any questions, clarifications, sir? That's all for today, sir. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Have a good day. Take care, and I just do the aftercare and perform hand hygiene. Documented findings in the client records using printed or electronic forms or checklists supplemented by narrative notes when appropriate.